Hello friends, welcome once again to Working Capital lecture series. In today's lecture we shall discuss estimation of working capital requirement. Let us first understand steps involved in calculating working capital requirement. So first step is to identify current assets and current liabilities from the given question. After identifying them, now second step is to find out holding period of individual assets, collection period of debtors and payment period of creditors. Then third step is to calculate cost per unit of individual current assets and current liabilities and total cost per unit. After finding all the information, now fourth step is to calculate values of individual items with the help of available information. And then the next step is to take total of current assets and current liabilities, and after taking totals, now deduct total current liabilities from total current assets. This is known as net working capital. Here, if a company wants to keep some extra amount as margin money, then we need to add that margin in net working capital to arrive at the actual working capital requirement. Now here, while applying fourth step, we need to know which approach we are using for calculation of working capital. There are basically two approaches, total approach and cash cost approach. While estimating working capital, generally total approach includes depreciation and profit margin, whereas cash cost approach excludes depreciation and profit margin. In both these approaches, raw material stock value is calculated at raw material cost price. But there is some difference in calculation of values of remaining current assets. Let us have a quick look on that difference now. For calculation of value of work in progress in both the approaches, cost of raw material is taken at 100% and cost of labor at 50%. But in case of cost of overheads, in total approach it is taken at 50% including depreciation, and in cash cost approach it is taken at 50% excluding depreciation. Finished goods stock value in total approach is calculated at production cost including depreciation, and in cash cost approach at production cost excluding depreciation. Now here it is important that if production cost is not available separately, then take total cost. Now next is the value of debtors. In total approach it is calculated at selling price, that means adding profit and total cost, and in cash cost approach it is calculated at total cost excluding depreciation. Let me show you format of calculating net working capital with cash cost approach. To calculate values of individual current assets and current liabilities, first we need to know production per annum in units. To begin the calculation, we need to convert this annual production into per day or per week or per month as per our requirement, depending on the information available about the holding period of current assets and current liabilities. This can be done by dividing annual production units by 365 days or 52 weeks or 12 months. Then start with current assets. First current asset should be always raw material stock. Now raw material stock value is equal to production unit per day or week or month into raw material cost per unit into raw material holding period. Next, consider work in progress with raw material 100%, labor 50% and overhead cost 50%. Next is finished goods stock, and then debtors. Now here consider other current asset if given in the question, and take total of values of all current assets. This value is known as gross working capital. Now consider current liabilities. Now here always start with creditors for raw material. Then next liability is creditors for wages and expenses or lag in payment of wages and overheads. Now add other current liability if given in the question, and then take total of values of all current liabilities. Now to get net working capital, deduct total current liabilities from total current assets. Okay. So let us now see calculation of working capital requirement with one question. Question is, from the following information calculate the requirement of working capital of XYZ Limited for the level of activity of 1,82,000 units of production, assuming that cash balance to be maintained is rupees 50,000 and margin rupees 20,000. Then we have cost per unit available for raw material, labor, overheads and total cost. We are going to ignore profit and selling price as we are applying a cash cost approach here. And then the average period is also given for various assets and liabilities. Okay. So students are requested to pause the video and note down this question. Okay. So let us see answer now. Now first we shall identify current assets and current liabilities. So again start reading the question. From the following information calculate the requirement of working capital of XYZ Limited for the level of production of 1,82,000 units of production, assuming that cash balance to be maintained is rupees 50,000. Now mark this as current asset. Cash balance to be maintained is rupees 50,000. So that is our current asset. Okay. And margin rupees 20,000, that we shall consider at the last stage of calculation. Now come to average period information. Okay, so first is raw material in stock, mark it as current asset. Then work in progress, again current asset. Finished goods, current asset. Credit allowed to customers means debtors, again current asset. Next is credit allowed by suppliers means creditors, current liability. And last is lag in payment of wages, again current liability. Okay. So we can see that average period is given in weeks for all these assets and liabilities. Therefore, we shall calculate production units per week. So let the year be 52 weeks. So our assumption is we are taking year as a 52 weeks. Therefore, production in units per week is equal to 1,82,000 units divided by 52 weeks. This comes to 3,500 units per week. Let us now start calculating working capital requirement of XYZ Limited for production units 3,500 per week. So begin with current assets. First current asset should be raw material. Now raw material cost is rupees 90 per unit and raw material is in stock for 4 weeks. Therefore, value of raw material is equal to 3,500 units per week into rupees 90 into 4 weeks. This comes to rupees 12,60,000. Now for work in progress value, we need to consider raw material, labor and overheads as they all are part of process. So first we shall take raw material. Raw material cost is rupees 90 per unit and work in progress holding period is 1 week. Therefore, calculation is 3,500 units per week into rupees 90 into 1 week into 100%. This comes to rupees 3,15,000. Write this figure in inner column. Then add labor value. Now labor cost per unit is rupees 40 and work in progress holding period is 1 week. Therefore, labor value equals 3,500 units into rupees 40 into 1 week into 50%. This comes to rupees 70,000. And then overhead value. Here overhead cost is rupees 75 and WIP holding period is 1 week. Therefore, value of overheads is equal to 3,500 units into rupees 75 into 1 week into 50%. This comes to rupees 1,31,250. Now take total of these three and write it in outer column. So WIP value here is rupees 5,16,250. Okay. Now next asset is finished goods. In cash cost approach, we always calculate finished goods at total cost excluding depreciation. Now in this question depreciation is not given separately. So we are taking total cost. Therefore, finished goods cost is rupees 205 and holding period is 1 week. So calculation is 3,500 units per week into rupees 205 into 1 week. This comes to 7,17,500. Now next asset is debtors. Again debtors are valued at cost. Therefore cost is rupees 205 and collection period is 4 weeks. So value of debtors is equal to 3,500 units per week into rupees 205 into 4 weeks. This comes to rupees 28,70,000. Now add cash balance which is already given in the question, rupees 50,000, and take total of all the current assets. Here it is rupees 54,13,750. Now next we shall consider current liabilities. So first take creditors for raw material. Here we shall consider raw material cost rupees 90 per unit and payment period given is 6 weeks. So the value of creditors is equal to 3,500 units into rupees 90 into 6 weeks. This comes to 18,90,000. Then next is lag in payment of wages. Here labor cost is rupees 40 and lag in payment period is 2 weeks. So 3,500 units into rupees 40 into 2 weeks, this comes to rupees 2,80,000. Now take total of current liabilities. So rupees 18,90,000 plus rupees 2,80,000 equals 21,70,000. Now to arrive at net working capital, deduct total current liabilities rupees 21,70,000 from total current assets rupees 54,13,750. So net working capital here is rupees 32,43,750. Now add margin which is given in the question, rupees 20,000. Therefore actual working capital requirement here for XYZ Limited is rupees 32,63,750.